I am still getting used to the new woodyard, guys. I have been busy, and I'm going to show you all the work that I've been doing. I'm set up right now to run a load of maple through the 405, and this will be only the second time I've run this machine since the open house, and that's because I've been running the Eastonmade axis nonstop. I had a ton of rounds that I was getting cut up. I've taken some other big logs out of the main pile and taken them down and bucked those and got those split too. And I have a vision on how I'm wanting to get this yard all cleaned up and how I want to keep it. And I have to do certain things before I can really start getting into firewood production. And that's what I'm going to be doing later today. But what I've been dealing with is, just learning how this yard works and just trying to figure out how I want it to work, where I want everything to be. I'm all about process and workflow, and I just have to get it to where I think it's going to work right. But where I start putting machines and where I think it's going to work, if it doesn't work, we'll change it. That's what we're all about here, being nimble, not having a big ego about this. We're just committed to efficiency, committed to producing a world-class product with a world-class delivery model. The big things that I have to adjust to, and this sounds silly, but I think until you hang out with me for the day, you'll see that, I'm being sincere. This is weird. When I load up to come here in the morning, I gotta sit and I gotta think, man, do I have all the keys that I need? Do I have the correct clothes, my hats and sunglasses and gloves? Do I have fuel? Do I have the right hitch for my trailer? And then getting used to the container. I need to do a whole video on this container. There are products out there, shelving and other amenities to make these work better for you. So I've already experienced some things with the containers, and I mean, gosh, these things are awesome. They're like a blank slate. You can do whatever you want with them. But for today, guys, I have a vision for how I want to set up the big logs. The majority of the logs I have fit through my firewood processor, but we run across the big logs that don't fit. And I need to set up a good, reliable system on getting those processed efficiently, getting them stacked, and then getting them to the drying yard. So that is what I'm going to show you today. And then just some more cleanup that I've been doing and getting this yard cleaned up and making it presentable. What I was able to do, all of those rounds that you saw from a previous video, I got them all split up, everything stacked. This is a load of offcuts. I'll be taking these home in my truck. I'll be throwing these into the bed and taking those to my woodshed. And I had two very big piles of boiler wood that I took home. That was here and here. I got all that loaded. That was a full trailer load. All of these, just for right now, these are the ones that had ants in them, and I didn't want to bring these home. I just threw them off to the side till the ants go away. But all of the wood that you see here and here, this was all of that on a log hauler Jesse's truck for the open house. And I think I probably had about a half of a cord of offcuts that I took home. But, I think we got a cord here, probably maybe 2 cords here, probably a cord and a half right here. And then this pile that was made with that built right splitter, I was going to stack this, but I think I have a plan for this stuff, so I'm going to let this lay here. It's just so I don't double my work. But that was while I was doing all this, the rusty wheels grinding. I'm all about workflow and efficiency like that. I think the racetrack concept, I think that's going to work great. And when I made my load of wood, you can see the conveyors right there. So the tractor would pull the trailer around and then just go right in the line and start stacking. I like that. But then what do I do with the big logs that I have to run through the axis, and where could I put them? I had thought about over here, but I'm going to have, hopefully one day, just a bunch of rows of stacks of wood. it would kind of be in the way. And so then I thought, I put these here as a marker. I'm thinking, guys, of putting the axis right here. We would be looking at the back of it. The loader would be on this side, the conveyor over here. And that way I could spit the wood here and wheelbarrow it to be stacked. And then I could just leave this area where I would put wood that comes off the axis. When I run into a log up on the main pile that won't fit through my processor, I would just fork it down here to the axis. And that's what I went ahead and just laid these two big cherry logs here. These would not go through the Japa. I placed them down below, and the axis would go right there. So I could, set the log right by the loader, chainsaw it up, and then it could split into a wheelbarrow, or just set it right onto the pallet here. So I'm gonna go ahead and hitch up the axis, and I'm gonna move it over to here, and I'm just gonna see if it looks right and if it's gonna feel right sitting there. I just don't know if it's gonna work until I put it there. I can dream things up in my head. I'd see like a process, but until I put it to work, that's when we'll finally get the know. So guys, we're gonna head on down to the axis. We'll get it hitched up and get it moved. So come on down here with me. We gotta put in the hitch. Oh. And pin, and then in order to transport this, I'm not gonna put the jacks up. I'm just gonna lift this up a little bit. I have to raise the log lift to help with its transport. So now I got to get this engine started. It would help if I turn it on. So I don't know, guys. I think it needs to come towards us farther. Yeah, the workstation's here. I see it's got a little of a dip. Maybe this part holds water if it rains hard. I don't know. But the conveyor though is in line. If I had like my little trailer here, I could fill it up and then just stack it up. I think it needs to come this way a little bit more. So let's back it over and try to move it this way about 3 feet. So this part looks good, but now I'm noticing that the ground kind of slopes here. So now the machine isn't level. I guess I could use those jacks, but we still have, this side is noticeably lower than this. The ground just isn't level. I think now it was better back where it was. Or maybe I could pull it forward. Let's try again. Upon further review though, when I look at it from this side, guys, it looks level. There's just like a dip where that landing gear up here goes. If we're using the hydraulic fluid as a gauge, it looks level. But it's also setting on the hitch right now. So how about I lower it and see? As I stand here, it kind of looks ideal for the location. I'm right here. The processed wood would come this way. I have enough room over on this side for the logs to be placed, to be chainsawed. These, of course, can be moved. There's not going to be here that much longer. I'm not worried about the pallets. All right, maybe we are good. So here's what I'm going to do. Let's take this off the hitch and just let it set here, work the landing gear to get it level, and we'll just see how it looks. I don't know if it's showing up on the video, but the machine's going this way. I think it's just because there's a dip right here. So if I crank this up, I think it looks better already. Really, the whole thing is lower. I think everything's got to come up. Yeah, there's hardly any weight on this one at all. So let's pick this up. And then this one. I don't know now, guys. I think it looks good. I think it looks good. And I'm more interested, I think, in the output side of it than I am the input side, because there's a lot of room over here, and this is hard pack. I will have no problems at all bringing these logs down. A path I would take is just from there to here with the big logs, and these I just set them down here a couple days ago because I had a feeling I was going to be moving this down here. But you know, I have all of this room, but I was thinking of the entire process, the logs being cut, put onto the splitter, and then sent to be stacked. And I think that the axis here makes I think this makes good sense to leave it here. So here's what I'm going to do. We will leave it here. I will begin processing when I start getting my big logs, and we'll see how it works. We will adjust, we will improve, we will change until we get it to where we like it. I am liking this for now. We'll see how it goes, but what I'm going to do now is get the tractor out of the way. I'm going to bring my truck down, and we're going to throw these offcuts into the back of my truck, and then those will be going back to my house to put into the woodshed. Nothing gets wasted here, guys. I'm going to take the tractor and put it on the trailer because I'm going to be making some firewood, and that way I'm not wasting any motion here with me or the tractor. Get this hitched up to the trailer, and then I'm going to bring my truck down here, and we're going to load up this load of boiler wood, which will be going back with me at the end of the day. Okay, the problem with this ballast box is you can't see the hitch from the seat, so you just got to go off of your feel. Sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't. We are going to leave the tractor and trailer here because we are set up for production, but I want to get these offcuts loaded into my truck right now. I just know the way I am. If I were to wait until the end of the day, I wouldn't do these things. So I'm going to load them into the truck right now. Guys, I had said this in an earlier video. This is the look I do not want to have. I want everything to be neat and tidy. And when I get all this picked up, I'm going to scrape up this sawdust and we'll dispatch it in some capacity. I'm not sure yet. But I just don't like this look. And what I've always done at Ohio Wood Burner, I've always felt has been different. And I don't want this wood yard looking like the traditional wood yard with just logs scattered here and there and scraps laying everywhere. after I had all these offcuts on the ground, I was thinking it would have made a great idea to put all of these into an IBC tote, but live and learn. Next time I'll be using my IBC totes. I think I could just fork them right into the truck, take it home, unload it, and then bring the basket back, and then save myself a lot of this stuff right now. And as always, I use my unloader. Guys, this is the best $30 I've ever spent. These are the kind of logs too, I think there's a market for these. You can sell these, but I need them for myself. I've always felt that the firewood I use to heat my house is worth more to me as wood than it is money, because the money it would need for me to buy propane is nowhere close to what I can get by with heating with wood. I think that's it. So that's it from the woodyard, guys. I got the axis in position. I got all of these rounds split, stacked. I have the offcuts loaded in my truck. So that's one full trailer and then like a half of a truckload of offcuts. And my woodshed is starting to fill up already. This was a lot of work. I'm glad to have it all done. I hope that this is just one of the first time thing that I can set up a process to avoid this going forward. I don't want to wind up with a big pile of gigantic rounds that I have to like get all chainsawed up and split at one time. I hope I have the discipline to where I can get them cut up as they come, get them split, and then just have them done. But we'll see. When you're a sole proprietor, everything sounds like a great idea, but there's only one you, and there's only one thing you can do at a time. So that's what I got going on, guys. I'm still getting set up, but I'm still getting wood produced and stacked for the coming winter. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please give me a thumbs up if you have, and I hope everyone has a great day. And lastly, I want to wish a happy Mother's Day to all the moms that are out there, and you know who you are, and where would we be in this world without you? That's how important you guys are. Enjoy your day. Have a great day.